Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. There's a sad, sad verse in the Bible, and we all need to be careful that that doesn't happen to us. Here's the situation, and it's in the Psalms, and it says in Psalm 78, it talks about the men of Ephraim. It says, the men of Ephraim, though armed with bows, turned back on the day of battle. They turned back. Now, that's not the saddest verse. They turned back because they were afraid. They were afraid they would not win the battle. And it's true in our lives. We face battles, may not be external physical battles, but we face battles, internal battles, different types of battles. And at times we turn back from the battle. We give up in the battle. We check out in the battle because we don't think we will be able to make it. And so they're ready for a battle, and they are God's people, and God has called them to this battle, but they turn back. And the saddest verse is the reason why they turn back. And it tells us that in Psalm 78, verse 11. It says this, they forgot what he had done, the wonders he had shown them. In other words, they had forgotten what God did in the past. And forgetting what God did in the past did not give them the courage to fight today's battle. You understanding that connection? And if you read the entire Psalm 78, it tells how they were delivered, the children of Israel were delivered out of Egypt through God's miracles, through God's power, how God even parted the Red Sea so they could walk through it on dry ground. God led them through the wilderness. God showed them wonders and amazing things, did miracles, and delivered them time after time after time after time. And now they are facing a battle, a present battle. And what do? They forget what God has done in the past. And they turn away. They turn back. That same idea is in Psalm 106, verse 13. It says, but they soon forgot what God had done and did not wait for his plan to unfold. Wow. Sometimes the reason we give up is because we don't wait for God's plan to unfold. And remembering what God has done in the past helps us to have courage. Remember, David's going to face Goliath. Saul says, you can't do it. Well, look at you. How can you do it? What does David do? He remembers how God delivered him and gave him the power to fight the lion and the bear. He remembers the past victory. He remembers God's faithfulness in the past, and that gives him the courage in the present. That's the key thing to remember. When we remember what God has done in the past, we will have courage to face any battle in the present. So how do we do that? Number one is by reading the Bible. God parted the Red Sea. That's happened in the past. He's the same yesterday as today and forever. He can part the Red Sea today. He can help you in that problem you are facing today. I remember the disciples. They saw Jesus feed the 5,000. A few weeks later, there's another big crowd. Their question is, where are you going to get bread for all these people. They forgot. Jesus just fed 5,000 men plus women and children. He can feed 4,000. When we remember the past, and what has God done in your life? Has He ever done anything in your life? Note it down. Remember it. Review it in your mind when you're in a present situation. And remembering what God has done in the past gives you strength for the future. So we get that by reading His Word and by remembering how God has worked in our lives. God has delivered me. God has saved me from so many different situations. He saved my soul. He's not going to suddenly abandon me. And so that gives me the courage to fight my present battles. So, my friends, our assignment every day, no matter what we face, is to remember the goodness of God. Remember the power of God in our lives in the past. And He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. God bless you. Have a great, great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. God bless.